I refused to leave a birthday dinner because the restaurant lighting made my outfit look too revealing. So last month, my friend Mariah invited me to her 30th birthday dinner in Chicago. It was a fancy rooftop restaurant, reservation only, dressy but not formal. She specifically said, wear something fun, something that feels like you. I picked out this emerald green jumpsuit that I loved. High neckline, wide legs, open back, classy, not clubby. My roommate said I looked like a jewel-toned goddess. My brother said I looked like I was going to a magazine shoot. I felt confident for the first time in months. I drove 3 hours, paid for parking, paid for the hotel, the whole deal. The restaurant looked incredible when I walked in. Floor-to-ceiling windows, sunset view over the city, candles everywhere. People were already taking pictures. I hugged Mariah. She gasped at my jumpsuit, told me she loved the color. Everything was perfect. Until about 45 minutes in. The sun went down, the restaurant dimmed the overheads, and suddenly everything switched to this weird, moody violet lighting. Cute in theory, but apparently violet light does something awful to satin fabric. Because all of a sudden, my jumpsuit went from deep emerald to, well, looking nearly to sheer. Not actually sheer. It just looked that way under that specific lighting. I didn't even notice until someone tapped my shoulder. It was Mariah's cousin Tessa, who I barely know, and she said, I'm sorry, but your outfit is way too revealing now. It's showing everything. I looked down. To me, it just looked shiny. Not revealing, not inappropriate, just reflective. I told her, it's the lighting, it's fine. She frowned and said, you really should go change. Or leave. This is a family dinner. People are uncomfortable. I asked, who is people? She didn't answer. She just said, if you respect Mariah, you'll step out. I said, absolutely not. I came 3 hours for this. Paid real money for this. Mariah was thrilled I was there. My outfit was fine when it was daylight and still fine now. Purple lighting wasn't my fault. Tessa huffed and walked away. I watched her go straight to Mariah's boyfriend, whisper something and point directly at me. He looked at me, looked at my jumpsuit, blinked, then literally said, huh? And went back to eating. Didn't give a single damn. I thought that was the end of it. Nope. 10 minutes later, the manager came by. Tessa must have complained. He politely asked if everything was okay at our table. I said yes. He said they got a report. Someone felt exposed by the lighting. I said the jumpsuit was fine. He said he wasn't asking me to leave, just checking on comfort levels. I said I was perfectly comfortable. He nodded and walked away. Tessa shot me a death glare from across the table. Dinner went on. Dessert came out. Mariah made a little speech about turning 30 and how grateful she was for everyone in her life. She kept hugging me and saying she was so happy I came. After dinner, a group of us went to the hotel bar. Tessa did not join. The next morning at brunch, someone brought it up immediately. This guy Mark, one of Mariah's coworkers, sat down and said, hey, so awkward question, but why didn't you just go home to change? People were talking. I stared at him. Did you think my jumpsuit was inappropriate? He hesitated and said, well, Tessa said. I cut him off. Did you think that? He went quiet, then said, not really, no, exactly. I told him, if Mariah had asked me to leave, I would have left. If the birthday girl had said anything, I would have apologized. But she didn't. She loved my outfit. The lighting was weird. That's not my fault. I texted Mariah when I got home just to check in and make sure there was no lingering drama. She had no clue any of it happened. She said, Tessa didn't say a word, and your jumpsuit was gorgeous. I'm literally mad nobody took more pictures of it. She apologized for her cousin and said she was embarrassed she caused a scene at her dinner. So in the end, the only person who had a problem was the one person who wasn't even in the group photo. And I'm still wearing that jumpsuit, just maybe not under purple lighting.